Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to take a look at we're going to take a kind of early look, we're going to take a look at the newly released Maximal T-Wreaks. Now honestly this figure has not shown up in any retail except for Target, which is actually really weird. Hasbro has not announced this figure at all, so it is really weird that this figure is released. And honestly when I saw it I was like, wow, I gotta get this figure. And then I went to Target, got the Buzzworthy Bumblebee and this figure at the same time. So with that being said, let me show you the packaging. On this side we see T-Rex, Maximal T-Rex in his robot form and his Tyrannosaurus form. Transformers Kingdom War for Cybertron Trilogy, Leader Class Cybertronian Letters, Maximal T-Rex, War for Cybertron K37. So number 37, but for the Kingdom chapter. Right here we get that same Kingdom artwork right here. And I did watch the Kingdom show on Netflix, and honestly it ended so well. I will not give any spoilers throughout this video, but I'll just give you one, and that'll be that this dude never shows up. But it would have been great if he showed up, but he never shows up. So all the artwork here is amazing. We see the Nemesis, the Ark, Rhinox, Dinobot, Scorponok, Black Arachnia, Galvatron, Beast Wars, Megatron, I think some probably Primates right there, Unicron, Cheetor, Rattrap, RC, Tigertron, Bumblebee, Airazor, and Optimus Primal, and finally the legendary Optimus Prime. If we go on to this side of the packaging, we can see the Maximal logo on the top. He transforms in 27 steps from robot to Tyrannosaurus Rex mode. And if you do have the War for Cybertron Kingdom Megatron, the Beast War Megatron, the T-Rex form, it is the exact same mold. So if the transformation for this figure will be the same for Beast Wars Megatron, and this side of the packaging is the same that we saw earlier. So with that being said, let's unbox this figure. Well, I'm not going to show you unboxing. Let's get this figure out of the packaging and see what awaits us inside the packaging. So now getting T-Rex out of the packaging. Honestly, this figure is so cool. Honestly, the sculpting and detail is so cool. And I will plan to get the War for Cybertron Beast Wars inspired Megatron soon, because this figure is just so cool. It's very heavy, very hefty. It's got a nice heft to it, and it's quite big. And honestly, comparing to another figure, like another leader class such as Kingdom Ultra Magnus, as this figure was heavy as well, this figure is, without a doubt, one of the heaviest figures in my collection, besides from the Studio Series Devastator, one of the heaviest figures in my collection that I have so far. And with that being said, let's take a look at the details. One thing I really did like is that the mouth is blast effect compatible. So if you do open the mouth, you do see some great paint applications, some silver teeth, some tongue paint, and then this is the accessory I use from Studio Series Scourge. I'll just toss that to the side for now. It does have a little blast effect port right here where you can attach a blast effect, or even you can attach a gun or something to make this figure even look way cooler. So if you wanted to attach besides a blast effect, you wanted to attach another weapon accessory, that would be fine, as long as it is 5mm, the slot and port. I believe it has to fit. It has to be 5mm in order to fit and everything. But honestly, this figure is lived up to my expectation. I never knew of this figure anyways. I never knew that this was a character or anything. Ever since I saw a video about this figure, I knew I had to get this figure. And honestly, the artwork on this figure is quite amazing. Although one thing that I did not like is that he has the same head as the Megatron figure, the Beast Mode Megatron. And that is just one critique that I have. But other than that, the paint application is amazing. If we turn our attention to the back, everything folds in nicely. It looks quite amazing and quite cool, and everything is so cool. We can even see some teeth detail right here where his head is. And just speaking of details, let's take a look at the details anyways. The head is I believe on a ball train, can go turn left to right, swivel back and forth just so slightly, cannot really go left to right all that much. The arms are on, I believe, some sort of, probably a soft ratchet joint, I believe. The arms are on a hinge joint. This whole area, the bicep for rotation on the whole arm anyways, and then right here rotation on the head, but that is mostly for the transformation of the robot. And honestly, at an angle you can see the pupa of the eye, but I don't think it was necessary for that. If you look closely, it just looks so menacing and scary. The feet can rock back and forth. The knees can go back and forth as well. This has a hinge joint right here which can go left and right and side to side, which creates a nice range of articulation for this figure. Considering this is a later class, this figure is what I expected it to be. This figure is without a doubt now the newest, one of my newest top 10 favorite figures that I have in my collection so far. And I would rather keep him in his robot form than his his beast mode than his robot form, as I do like the beast mode more than the robot form. Don't get me wrong, the robot form is without a doubt so cool and so well sculpted, and everything about this figure is so beautiful. All the detail is just amazing. All Hasbro has implied right here. But I would keep this figure in its Tyrannosaurus mode, as this figure does look quite without a doubt so amazing. So, without further ado, let's take a look at some size comparison between T-Rex and other Transformers, that the other Beast Wars Transformers and other Transformers that transform into something else. So, without further ado, let's start the size comparisons. And here, for a size comparison between T-Rex, we brought in Ultra Magnus, Air Razor, and Ractonite. And honestly, I think the scale between all of these figures does look quite amazing. And I'm not so sure accuracy. I think maybe accuracy with Air Razor, but I'm not so sure if he ever showed up in the Beast Wars show at all. But I think that would look quite really accurate if for the Netflix show, if this was Megatron and Air Razor. And Ractonite did not show up in the Netflix show. That is just one spoiler I will let out, just one last one. And he didn't she did not show up in the Netflix show. But still, I'm pretty sure that this figure would have looked pretty darn cool with these figures. Ultra Magnus did show up, but not near this Megatron at all. So that is just something cool that I just wanted to show, like between the scale between this figure, like kind of a Beast Wars Megatron, but T-Rex between other Autobots, Maximals, and Predacon. So without further ado, let's take a look at the transformation for Maximal T-Wreaks. And now for the transformation of T-Rex. Well, Rex. It is quite simple and quite hard. You may notice that T-Rex is in a different position, and maybe some of the parts look a little bit different than earlier. It's because I have already transformed this figure just a few moments ago, and the transformation was incredibly difficult. And if you do notice right here on the right here in the hips, right here it is split. I did split it due to the transformation, since it is incredibly hard just to separate this piece. So that is just one reason why you see it split. No, so the first thing I'm going to do is just simply deattach this piece, as it can be really hard to do so. Even right now, even as it's deattached, I recommend taking something that's thin, probably like scissors, although I do not recommend scissors because I have accidentally scraped a bit of the figure earlier, and just to separate it, just ever so slightly. Just separate it like so. Then after that, just have the feet like that, and this blaster accessory that you see here, just put it away. The blaster accessory did not come with the figure. Just for you to know, that is from another figure. Just close the mouth right here. Just make this straight. Then after that, you're gonna have to turn your attention towards the back. And after that, just align these pieces appropriately. Then after that, you're gonna have to then separate this piece, I believe. Just gonna have to make sure it does in fact separate like so. After that, just make sure this piece does fold out. Then after that, make sure this whole body region, the whole torso, deattaches from the waist. Then after that, you're gonna have to just flip it over simply like so. After that, you're just gonna have to make sure that this whole region does attach like so in these little slots and stuff. Make sure it does attach and everything. So we can really see what the T-Rex coming, what T-Rex is coming to be. Then you're going to turn your attention toward the head. Simply just push it in like so. After that, flip out all the body parts like so. And then let's move on to the tail right here. You're just going to have to make sure this aligns up nicely. And then make sure it does, in fact, cover the hands right here. After that, you're just going to have to flip over the tail to make sure the blue colors are matching like so. So you have the tail fully ready, fully transformed and ready. So then, the next thing you're going to have to do is just simply make sure all of this is separated. Then after that, you're just going to have to, I believe you're supposed to make sure that these pieces do, in fact, fold like so, like this. Make sure they do fold in like so. Then after that, you're just going to have to make sure you flip over the whole head right like so. Like this. I do apologize if this transformation does seem kind of sloppy. It is because this transformation is incredibly hard to do. Not so hard, but it is really hard to do. After that, you're just going to have to flip out these panels, which are in spring joints. After that, just adjust the little baby T-Rex arms right here. And then after that, just align this up right here. So you have the body nearly ready. So what you're going to have to do, the reason you have to separate the hips is due to the fact that you do have to, I believe, you're supposed to have the tail line up right here. And I think I did do the transformation slightly wrong. Oh wait, just flip over the legs like so. Just flip over the legs like this. And then, no, I didn't do it wrong. Okay, so you're just gonna have to make sure this tab right here, if you can see it right there, will in fact go into this little hollow slot right there. It is incredibly hard to do, so bear with me if this does seem like it does take a while. You're just gonna have to simply push it in right there, and like that. So then after that, you're just gonna have to straighten this out. So we can nearly see the T-Rex, what it's going to be. So after that, you're just gonna have to make sure the body parts do in fact fold inward like so. Adjust the T-Rex arms. After that, you're gonna have to make sure these parts on the legs do in fact separate and do face downward, I believe so. Oh wait, hold on. I did do one wrong step. So just flip the legs back to how they were before. Just flip them back to how they were before. Then after that, you're gonna have to just again just deattach this piece. Just rotate the waist right here. As I have already attached it, it will become hard. So okay, so sorry for that. I did do one wrong step, but now I just fixed it. So you're simply gonna have to just reattach it as like so. Like how I showed you before, inside that little slot, the little tab will go in the slot right there. You're just gonna have to just align it up appropriately and just close it in. Just make sure it closes in like so, like that, and then rotate the tail like this so that the blue part can be facing upward. Fix the feet to make them standing up, and after that, flip these hip parts. I believe these the big thigh parts are here. You're gonna have to rotate this right here. Just rotate it downward, I believe so. Then after that, you're just gonna have to make sure these things do fold over and close right here. Just make sure it does close. And here we have T-Rex fully transformed into his awesome looking Tyrannosaurus mode. And honestly, the transformation was quite difficult, but it is worth it in the end. I was planning on not transforming this figure at first, but then I decided, how about I'll just show them here how to transform it. And honestly, what to say is that this figure is absolutely amazing. The transformation is difficult. Don't get me wrong. I hate the transformation, but the figure itself is just amazing. After you have transformed this figure, it does look quite amazing and quite cool. And also, this figure, this Tyrannosaurus also reminds me. I don't know if I said earlier that about the Jurassic Park movies and everything. This figure does look quite amazing and stuff. So I did like the transformation of T-Rex. I will not be untransforming this figure as it is incredibly difficult just to transform it at least once. Oh, there. Just one last step is right there. Just to transform it once was incredibly difficult. And also, I will be displaying him like this on the shelf, mostly in his Tyrannosaurus mode, because his Tyrannosaurus mode looked epic. It just does look very cool and everything. And for a size comparison, for a dinosaur size comparison, here we have our new Kingdom T-Rex being compared to our Studio Series 86 Studio Series Grimlock. And honestly, what to say is that the scale here does look quite funny. Like if you guys have seen the Godzilla vs Kong movie that came out earlier this year, this would look like Godzilla and this would be Mecha Godzilla or something, if you just have like an imaginative mind. And I think that this just looks kind of funny and kind of cool, real life and robot form. So although the transformation was incredibly difficult, it is all worth it in the end. I do like the transformation. I did not like the transformation. I do like the figure itself. The size also does look cool. And if you do have other core class figures, it does look kind of funny that having a core class being swallowed or being chewed on by T-Rex. So just for Starscream, for an example, we have Starscream right here. Help! 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 Right there, just getting munched by T-Rex, and Grimlock also. So the core classes figures, like if the core class figures, if you like these core class figures, well, T-Rex is the best figure you have to munch on these core class figures. And for another size comparison, another dinosaur size comparison, here we have the Kingdom Deluxe Class Ractonite. And honestly, the scale here does not look quite bad, although a Styracosaurus is just slightly taller than a Tyrannosaurus. And plus, is a skeleton form, probably maybe because of that, this figure does look small than how it would look like in real life. And for a maximal size comparison, here we have our Kingdom Air Razor being compared to T-Rex. And honestly, Air Razor and T-Rex do work perfectly. If this was the Beast Mode Megatron, as it is the same scope as the Beast Mode Megatron, this looks incredibly accurate. So just from a front perspective, we can see how Air Razor is very big on the wingspan and is nearly as big as half of the body of T-Rex on her wingspan. But what to say about this figure is that this figure is amazing. Now let's go into detail about this figure. So one thing I want to note out is mostly the T-Rex mouth and the eyes. Is that if you do notice, the eyes have not been painted. They are a yellow plastic, and it does look kind of creepy and kind of menacing and kind of cool. I'm not so sure if I said that earlier, but it does look kind of cool. The whole inside, if you look in the mouth, it is blast effect compatible, and the tongue has been painted. I really do like that. The sculpting on the roof of the mouth does represent how a roof of the mouth would look like on a reptile or a dinosaur or something. The paint applications on the teeth look marvelous. They are silver, which would look like if this was a robot. This would look like an actual robot than a dinosaur with the silver teeth. If we look on the side, we can see that this completely looks like a Jurassic Park dinosaur, and honestly, I think the scale, I think the color matching here looks nice. I've always thought of a T-Rex always having these stripes and everything. Even when I was little, I always drew a T-Rex having stripes and everything. And little did I know that Hasbro would be making this stripe pattern that I always liked. Also, one thing worth noting out is these little arms. They are on ball joints, which they can go in a terrific degree, and you could have this figure posed in many ways with the arms. You could just have them like this, or you could have them like this. And I feel like the little baby arms on this figure do look, in fact, funny and everything. The tail is articulated. It can rotate around hinge side to side. Right here, I believe it's on a hinge joint, and this is on a swivel joint, which can create a large range of motion. I will not go that much into the feet articulation, as I did cover that in robot form, and it is the same in dinosaur form. The head, since it is the arm, it does have rotation on the head itself. The neck has rotation, and the mouth does as well. And then you could hinge this side to side, even turn it a full 360. I do like it. The head is fully articulated. It looks like an actual dinosaur head. And honestly, I think this would look cool. And also, speaking of dinosaurs and everything, if T-Rex and Grimlock would go in a fight or something, I would put my money on T-Rex, as he looks like he would destroy Grimlock, and Grimlock would just be left in pieces. So just like for a quick like little view of how that would look like, I personally think that T-Rex would honestly just win in a fight against Grimlock. Just grab him, toss him down, and then win the fight. And honestly, this does remind me of Jurassic Park, as I have said before. I think that this figure is absolutely one of my favorite figures that I have in my collection. And I will not transform this figure back into its robot form, and just because it was quite difficult, and I like the T-Rex form more than the robot form. The underbelly does have a lot of detail, like scales and everything. I do like that all the scales on the underbelly do look nice and everything. So that about wraps up the detail segment of the Tyrannosaurus mode in my video. So that about wraps up my review of Transformers Kingdom War for Cybertron Maximal T-Wreaks. Honestly, I hope you enjoyed this video. I absolutely enjoy this figure in the dinosaur mode. The robot form, don't get me wrong, it was amazing. But honestly, I would mostly keep this figure in dinosaur mode due to the transformation being incredibly hard. And honestly, as you did see, it was kind of hard for me, but in this video. But honestly, good thing you didn't see me off camera. I was literally going to lose it with this figure not transforming like so good and everything. And honestly, this figure is actually quite worth the hardness and all the pain on my fingers. This figure is absolutely one of my favorite figures I have in my collection so far. So that about wraps up my review of Transformers Kingdom War for Cybertron Leader Class Maximal T-Rex. I thank you all for watching. Please subscribe, leave a nice comment, and until then, I will see you at our next Transformers War for Cybertron or Studio Series video. I thank you for watching, and goodbye. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.